So Easy Trip Planners Limited, the company behind the brand easemytrip.com, is all set with its initial public offer. So in this video, we'll be discussing about this upcoming IPO. So let's begin. So let's start this video by discussing about the company. The name of the company is Easy Trip Planners Limited. It has its website by the name of easemytrip.com. Also, it has its mobile app on Android and iOS platforms by the name of Ease My Trip. So the line of business of the company is online travel agency. In short, we say it OTA. So the company was incorporated in 2008 and it is headquartered in New Delhi. It is ranked third among the key online travel agencies in India in terms of gross booking revenues in fiscal 2020. Now you must be wondering what is this gross booking revenue? So let me tell you. The gross booking revenue refers to the total amount paid, including the taxes, fees, other charges, net of the cancellations, discounts, or refunds by the customers for the travel services and products. So, what the ultimate consumer pays, that is, the amount paid by the ultimate consumer out of his pocket, is the gross booking revenue. So in terms of gross booking revenue, it is ranked third in fiscal 2020. It is ranked second among the key online travel agencies in India in terms of booking volume in the 9 months ended 31st December 2020, which means from April 1, 2020 to 31st December 2020, it is ranked second in terms of booking volume. Now, what is this booking volume? Booking volume refers to the number of transactions done by the customers on this platform. All right. One of the most important point of the company is that it is the only profitable online travel agency among the key online travel agencies in India in fiscal 2018, 2019 and 2020. Now, what are these key online travel agencies? All right, let's discuss about them. The key online travel agencies in India are namely MakeMyTrip, EaseMyTrip.com, ClearTrip, and Yatra. MakeMyTrip is basically the market leader in terms of the gross booking revenue. Now let us discuss about the promoters and their shareholding. Mr. Nishant, Mr. Rikant, and Mr. Prashant are the promoters of the company. They are the original promoters of the company, and there has been no change in the control of the company in the last 5 years. So this is a very good point that the company's control has not been changed in the last 5 years. And as on the date of the RHP, the promoters collectively hold approximately 100% of the paid up equity share capital of the company. Now let's discuss about the business model of the company. So basically there are three business models which are used by the online travel agencies. Number one is agency business model, second is advertising business model, and third is merchant business model. So Easy Trip Planners Limited follows agency business model. So let's discuss about this business model. In agency business model, the companies specialize in the sale of travel related products and services such as booking of air tickets, bus tickets, railway tickets, hotel rooms, taxis, holiday packages through their websites and applications. So in return of this sale, what do they get? They get agreed commission. So the commission is the main source of revenue of those online travel agencies who are following agency business model. If we talk about the range of services provided by the easemytrip.com, it's the sale of air tickets, hotels and holiday packages, rail and bus tickets, cab booking, activities or attractions such as trekking, etc., and other services such as travel insurance, visa processing, etc. If we look at the figures of fiscal 2020, the gross booking revenue breakup, we will find that the 97.8 percentage of the gross booking revenue of Easy Trip Planners Limited comes from the sale of air tickets, that is the commission earned from the sale of air tickets. So the main source of revenue for this company is the commission earned from the sale of air tickets. Now let's talk about easemytrip.com's financials. If we talk about the EPS, that is the earning per share, we'll find that the EPS has been growing steadily, and in the 9 months, that is April 1, 2020 to 31st December 2020, the EPS is 2.81, which is still a decent number. If we talk about the total assets of the company, we would find that the total assets of the company has been growing steadily and it stood at 3569.66 million rupees as on 31st December 2020. Now, if we talk about the top line, that is the total revenue, we would find that the total revenue of the company also grew steadily over the period of time, and it stood at 815.72 million rupees as on 31st December 2020. Now, let's talk about the valuation. According to the financial year 1920 figures, the EPS is rupees 3.04 per share, and if we calculate the PE ratio, that is price to earning ratio, it comes about 61.51 times. If we talk about the NAV, that is net asset value or the book value, it stood at 9.32 rupees per share, and using that, if we calculate the price to book value ratio, it is 20.06 times. Is the valuation expensive? I think it's expensive a bit because if you look at the Nifty's PE, which is around 40 times, this company's PE is standing at 61.51 times. So I think the valuation is a bit expensive. Now let's talk about the industry and the competitors. The industry in which this company functions is the Indian travel industry, and this industry grew at a CAGR of approximately 10 to 11% in the fiscal 2020. Now, if we discuss the trend and the outlook for the segment-wise share in the Indian travel market, we would find that the airline ticketing business covers almost the 50% of the entire market. If you see the figures for financial year 15, you will find that the 48%, that is 46 to 48% of the market is covered by the airline ticketing business. If you look at financial year 20 estimated figures, it is around 50%, and in future also, that is the projected figures for financial year 2023, it is expected that it will increase to 52%. So this gives us a signal that the airline ticketing accounts for a dominant share in the Indian travel industry and would continue to do so in the future. Now, if we look at the online penetration of the Indian travel market, we would find that the online penetration has been increasing day by day, and it is expected that it would reach to 67 to 68% by financial year 2023. This is because it is very convenient to book air tickets or railway tickets online. So it is expected that the share of the online penetration of the Indian travel industry is expected to increase to approximately 67 to 68% in fiscal 2023, supported by the growth in the online transactions due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So this is what I was talking about, that it is very easy nowadays to book tickets for air tickets or railway tickets or bus tickets online through an app or through going to the website. So there is no doubt that the online penetration in this market is going to increase to 68% or 70%. So now if we talk about the market in which the Easy Trip Planners Limited functions, it is Indian OTA market. And if we talk about the gross booking revenues, the Indian OTA market increased at a CAGR of approximately 20 to 22% from 2015 to 2020. However, this industry is expected to grow only at a CAGR of approximately 1% to 2% in fiscal 2023. This is because the COVID pandemic has hit the travel industry so hard that it is very crucial for them to survive nowadays. Now, if we talk about the market share of Easy Trip Planners Limited, we would find that during these past years, the market share has been increasing from approximately 3.1% to 3.7% and from 3.7% to approximately 4.6% in fiscal 2020. So this is a very good sign. Now let's do some comparative analysis. If we talk about the key financial metrics for the OTA players for fiscal 2020, we would find that the MSP expense, which is the marketing and sales promotion expense, as a percentage of the gross booking revenue, Easy Trip Planners Limited at the lowest percentage at 0.83 percentage. If we talk about the employee expense percentage, it is still the lowest, that is 0.72 percentage. If we talk about the customer promotion expense, it is the second lowest, that is 3%. If we talk about the other operating expenses, it is still the lowest at 0.27%. So even after having the lowest expense to revenue ratios, the company is still profitable, and the operating profit as a percentage of gross booking revenue stood at positive 0.2% compared to its peers such as Make My Trip Limited or Yatra. So Easy Trip Planners Limited has recovered 70% booking volume in the third quarter of fiscal 2021, which is like October, November and December 2020. as compared to Make My Trip Limited, which is the market leader, which was able to achieve only 46% of the booking volume. And Easy Trip Planners Limited recorded the highest growth of the gross booking revenues in India with a CAGR of 47% during fiscal 2018 to 2020 as compared to its peers such as Make My Trip Limited or Yatra Online. Now let's do some SWOT analysis. If we talk about the company's strengths, it is one of the key online travel agencies in India with the option of a no convenience fee. Now, what is a convenience fee? Whenever you do an online transaction, there is some charges such as internet handling charges or service fees which is charged by the company. In case you are not availing any discount or promotion, Easy Trip Planners Limited gives you the option of a no convenience fee. So that's a very good sign. The company has a broad distribution network of B2C, B2E, B2B, 2C, and the company has a consistent track record. Since we saw the financials of the company, which is growing steadily, the company has a consistent track record coupled with cost efficient operations. This is because the company has the lowest percentage of expense to revenue. If we talk about the company weaknesses, the main portion of the company's revenue comes from only the airline ticketing business. Since we discussed in the previous slides that the company's 97% revenue comes from the commission earned from the airline business, the company is exposed to two risks. Number one is dependency on only one stream of revenue, and that also the airline industry is going through a rough phase. So, if you are dependent only on a one stream of revenue, and if that revenue stream is hit hard due to the COVID pandemic, so it is very crucial for the company right now to overcome this weakness. Now let's talk about the opportunities in the future. The convenience and competitive pricing are the major differentiators for the OTAs. The share of online penetration of the Indian travel industry is expected to increase to 67 to 68% approximately. And the company's focus is on technology. Since it's an online travel agency, the company's focus is on technology. If we talk about the threats, the company is mainly into travel-related products and the services. Therefore, COVID-19 pandemic situation may have a long-term impact on its operations. It is no doubt that the company and the industry overall has been hit hard due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and it is very crucial for the company to survive at this stage so that it can grow in the future. Increasing focus on direct bookings by the hotel players. We are seeing nowadays that the big hotel chains in India are trying to launch their own app and their own website so that they can save the commission cost. So this is a big threat for the company. There is limited presence in the holiday packages segment by the company, and there is increasing competition from the international OTAs and new entrants. So these were some of the threats. Now let's talk about the IPO details. The IPO will be open for application from 8th of March and up to 10th of March. The face value is 2 rupees per equity share. The IPO price band is 186 rupees to 187 per equity share. So if a retail individual investor just like you and me wants to make an application, we have to make an application for a minimum one lot of 80 shares, and the maximum amount payable by us would be 14960, that is 14,960 rupees, the cutoff price. And the maximum number of lots that a retail individual investor can apply for is 13 lots, that is 1040 shares, and the maximum amount payable as per the cutoff price is 1,94,480. So market lot is 80 shares, minimum order quantity is 80 shares. The company would be listed at both Bombay Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange. The issue size is aggregating up to 510 crore, and the offer for sale is also 510 crore. What does this mean? This means that this is not a fresh issue, it's an offer for sale of 100%. This means that the entire issue proceeds, which is 510 crore, will not go to the company, it will go to the promoters of the company. If we talk about the category wise breakup of this 510 crore, we would find that 75% of this issue is reserved for the QIBs and the anchor investors, 15% is reserved for non-institutional investors, and only 10% is reserved, that is 51 crore rupees reservation is there for retail individual investors. So this is bad news for retail individual investors just like you and me, because usually in IPOs this figure is 35%. That is, this reservation is around 35%. So the chances of getting the allotment is very high in this case as compared to this case of 10%, because a lot of people would be trying to apply for this IPO and there is very little chance or very little probability that somebody would get the allotment, but hope should be always be set high. Now if we talk about the IPO tentative timetable, The IPO is opening on 8th of March. It will close on 10th of March. The basis of allotment, that is who is getting the allotment and who is not getting the allotment, will be decided by 16th of March. Those who are not getting the allotment will get the refund by 17th of March, and by 18th of March these shares will be credited to the demat account, and the IPO, that is the company's shares, will be listed by 19th of March 2021. So this brings us to the end of the video. Now you must be wondering whether I am going to apply for this IPO or not. Grey market premium, that is the GMP, for this listing is ranging around 100 to 110. So I think it will be a very good listing. So I am going to apply for this IPO. Whether you are going to apply for this IPO or not, do let me know in the comment section below. And this video is only for informative purpose. Please consult your financial advisor before investing. So thank you so much for watching this video. More such videos are about to come on this channel. So please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon. So this is your very own CA Akshay Ramnani signing out.